Hey everybody, and welcome back to Plus Ultra Pitching. We have another windy day here, but that's not going to stop us from learning how to throw a fastball. Speaking of fastballs, today we are going to start to put everything together into a full motion pitch. We've gone through the wrist snap series, we've gone through our power K series, and last week we went over how to keep your arm path straight so that the ball will go straight down the middle of the plate. Today, let's put it all together. Let's learn how to throw a full motion, fast pitch fastball and go from there in the next couple of weeks. So before I get started, I just want to make sure everyone knows that what I put in this video today is foundational for the fastball, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way to throw a fastball, because if any of you watch college pitchers, you'll see that there are a lot of different kind of delivery types. I'm just kind of going over the bare bone basics of what a full motion pitch should look like. So we have a couple different parts of our pitch. The starting position we're going to go over. We're also going to go over our stride position when we're actually like kind of reaching out towards the catcher. We're going to go over when we hit the power K position, and then also the wrist snap finish that we should have. So when you are setting up to throw a full motion pitch, I like to have my feet about shoulder width apart because I just feel really stable. Sometimes I see girls with their feet really close together. Make sure that your stance is comfortable when you're pitching. And you want your toes and your knees and your whole body facing towards your catcher, towards your target. This is going to be our starting position. Then you can go through whatever delivery you want, but at the end of the day, you're always going to have to get into a load position where your knees are slightly bent and you're on the balls of your feet. And this is going to start that stride position for us. So that's when we are going to stride straight out to our catcher with, for righties, my left foot, for lefties, your right foot. And I should mention, for the starting position, for righties, we stand in a little bit of a stagger stance. So for righties, your right foot is going to be slightly ahead of your left, and then vice versa for lefties. Your left foot will be slightly in front of your right for the starting position. Now for back to the stride position, what we're going to do is we're going to push straight forward with the foot that is in front in our starting position. So for me, it's my right foot. I'm going to be pushing straight forward with that. So notice my knee and my toe are still pointing towards my catcher. In real time, the stride part of the pitch will look like this, right? Glove and ball are both facing towards my target. My hips, my knee, my toes, everything is facing towards my target. And then it's at this point that we can open up to the power K that we've been working on. We draw a rainbow with our throwing hand to open up our shoulders. And then by opening up our shoulders, our hips are going to naturally follow into our power K. Once we're in this power K position, hopefully this looks very familiar to all of you. This is when, as our elbow starts to move down in towards our rib cage and our hip, we're going to start to twist that. We're going to start to engage that hip by twisting our back foot, come down with our throwing hand, release the ball around your belly button area, and then follow through towards your catcher. So just as a quick little review before we get into some drills to help with the different positioning. Starting position is a stagger stance. For righties, your right foot will be slightly ahead of your left. For lefties, your left foot will be slightly in front of your right, about shoulder width apart. And what you're going to do is you are going to stride straight forward and make sure that the foot that you're striding forward with is going to land on a different plane rather than your the foot that you're dragging back. So you don't want to be on a tightrope, right? Two separate planes. For our reach position, we'll then open up our shoulders and then our hips into power K. Once we're in power K, our elbow will start to lead and our hips will engage. We'll come down and pitch the ball, finishing towards our catcher. Some of my favorite drills to work on full motion positioning include pausing at each of these different positions. So We'll pause in the gliding position. We'll pause again in the power K position, and then you can pitch the ball to your target. And that will look something like this. Another thing you can do once you feel as though your transition to power K and getting that glove, your hand facing up, is progressing really well. Don't progress onto this drill until you are certain that in your power K position, your palm is facing up towards the sky. Once you're sure of that, you can pause in that glide position and then finish your 3/4 circle to pitch. That will look something like this. All right, those are 2 awesome drills so that you guys can get comfortable in different parts of the full motion pitch. Come back next week and we'll continue on. All right, well, as always, subscribe to my channels. I put out new videos every week. Put your questions in the comment section below, and Plus Ultra!